so secret, so precious, this love, so sacred, so secret, so precious, this love, so sacred, so secret, so precious, this love, so sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. I will share, 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 I will share this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love, so sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. I will share, 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 I will share.
Good morning, everyone. On this beautiful, beautiful fall November day, I welcome each of you, and I'm so glad we get to be together. Some of you know that I've been gone a month. I had the incredible blessing and gift to have a 1-month sabbatical, which I get once every 5 years. And I'm so grateful to Reverend Janice and Lori and Gail for just keeping things going. I got to sneak in watching them, and they were absolutely wonderful and inspiring. So those of you that are online, you may have seen them, but the live stream lasts forever, so anyone can go back to that. I have a lot to share about 1 month away, but that will happen in a few moments. Let us remember that we're a Center for Spiritual Living community, and we are part of a greater movement that was founded in the Science of Mind teaching by Dr. Ernest Holmes, an incredibly wise man who took all the different truths from the many different religions and spiritual teachings and distilled them into something very simple. Not always easy, but simple in such a way that it's common sense, or it can become common sense to most of us, because it just says what we think, and how we feel creates our experience. And so we can work with that, right? Can always work with what's happening out here. So we are celebrating a year of a theme called Living Out Loud. And the theme for November is the mundane, the sacred, and the profane. So today the topic is it's all sacred. And Susan is with me. Susan is a licensed practitioner in Princeton Center for Spiritual Living, and she's our assisting practitioner, and she'll be available to do spiritual mind treatment for anyone afterwards, kind of in this little corner.
I kind of hang here.
She hangs here.
I hang here.
She hangs here, and it's spiritual mind treatment is a word for affirmative prayer, and this is just like a quickie instead of a whole session with a practitioner, which is quite different, and those people are available as well, and the list is over there. So let's do our Namaste practice. Namaste is just a Sanskrit word for the divinity in me blesses the divinity in you. I know it's a long sentence for one word, right? But it's a very ancient practice, and so we do that to greet each other. So put your hands together and just greet someone and say namaste. And give and receive it. You're not just giving, you're receiving. And let's do an opening treatment, our word for affirmative prayer. So right here, right now, as I stand here on this solid ground beneath my feet, and I use the word I, my, me, I simply speak from and to the divine nature in each and every one of us. Because beneath the ground, beneath my feet, there is a ground that is so much more solid, so much firmer, so much more reliable, so much the purity of life's principles and practices. And so you and I are here to remember this. And I go back to the I am here to remember this. The only thing that's happening in my life is I forget, I remember, I forget, I remember, and therefore I support this dance with my spiritual practices so that it doesn't happen as often, it does not happen as quickly, and that there is a depth to my remembering that allows me to experience a greater sense of wholeness in all areas of my life and living, whether this is relationships or abundance or health or creativity. I am forever committed to stand on holy grounds, the sacred ground of my very being, and live from this place so that when I witness something that is not like that, I know where to go. I know to step back onto the holy ground of my being and to remember to always be so grateful that it is ever giving, ever available, and ever supporting me. And so it is. So I don't have COVID. Hallelujah, but I have a cold, and I'll share with you why. Because in our teaching, when there is a physical symptom, there is a greater cause trying to get our attention. And that is so true with colds. And I'll share with you what happened, how I got this, not to mention that I've learned to welcome colds because, boy, they're a great way to detox, right? And this kind of cold that I'm experiencing, I have probably gone through about 5 of these. So I won't get really gross with you, but you know what I'm talking about. And it's like there is a clearing and a cleansing and a draining that I welcome and don't fight. So it just means a few more naps, a little more tea, maybe a little less food, and lots of spiritual light treatment, right? So the topic is, what if it's all sacred? What if it's all sacred? That's a great question for us to ask all the time, especially when we witness something we would call not so sacred, which is so personal and so individual because it's always seen through the lens of our own consciousness, right? And so the theme, the mundane, is really about the worldly, kind of boring, dull stuff that we go through every day. And then there's the sacred, which is really that life is a gift and a blessing and a holy experience that reflects that it's all pure spirit. And then we get to witness how it's become formed. And then the profane, I found out the root word of profane means outside the temple. Isn't that interesting? It just means that when we step outside the temple of our own sacredness, that we have a tendency to witness the world in a completely different way. And so we have Eastern Daylight Savings Time. You all got an extra hour of sleep, I can tell. You look a little more rested. I woke up at 4 o'clock. So, and then we have the experience of having had a sabbatical, because we really have had a sabbatical together. Even though you may be here for the first time today and you don't even know me, even though maybe you have been here for a while or anywhere in between, maybe you witnessed Lori and Reverend Janice and Gail in this sabbatical experience, you were part of this sabbatical. What I experience, you experience, and what you experience, I experience, because we're all one. It's not in the same way. That's why I can look at a painting and faint from joy, and some of you can go, what the hell is that? right? It's just a different experience, but we've been part of a sabbatical together. And for me, I have to say, I'm so grateful that this is something that I can do and step back, because that's mostly what I did. I stepped back. I started off with a retreat at the Himalayan Institute in Holmesdale, Pennsylvania, where I had been once before, but a long time ago. It's really a lovely place. I highly recommend it for anyone who needs a break. It's 3 meals a day, all vegetarian, lots of spaces, beautiful nature, meditation every day, yoga twice a day, just really lovely. And I did a silent retreat on my own. So I had a sign on me that said, "In silence," so people left me alone. And that was such a wonderful time to just sit and journal, reflect, experience nature, take walks, not pay too much attention to a clock, read a lot. I did watch a few movies and listen to some podcasts that I've been wanting to catch up with for so long, and just really go with what my intuition was telling me to do without any commitments. When I came back the last 3 weeks, I purposely made no plans. No appointments with doctors, no plans with friends. Everything I did, which was very little, was being very spontaneous. Hey, you want to go for a walk? Call a friend at the last minute. You know, that's changed, right? Now we make appointments more often, right? So just to be and rest and do yoga and do meditation, read some favorite books, walks in nature. It was just really lovely to have that freedom. I had one big project planned. I saved it till the last week. I knew I wasn't going to procrastinate, but I started it last Monday, and I have 40 boxes of books in the basement that have been sitting there since I moved in with my honey 9 years ago. I've opened maybe 1 or 2, maybe. And I decided I needed to go through them, and I went through every single box, touched every single book, mostly, in each box. I'm left with 13. I'm so proud of myself. So a bunch of them are here. Those books in the back are my books that I'm giving away. Take as much as you like. Take them for your friends, take them for your family, take them for yourself, give them away, sell them, I don't care. Because I have 6 more at home that I'm going to either sell, put in those free little libraries, or give them away. I already have a few ideas. So the other thing I found was this. Isn't this beautiful? Yeah. Right? So this has been in a box for 9 years. And I didn't know it. So when, it wasn't a box, it's a what do you call those?
Garment bag?
No, it's a piece of furniture my brother made. And it has a drawer at the bottom and a lid on the top, and you put blankets inside.
Like a chest.
A chest. A chest. And I open it, and it's a cedar. So I open it up, and the smell of cedar comes out, and this dress is on the top of it. I'm like, oh my God, I have a new outfit that's probably 30 years old and still works. How cool is that? So please take the books. They are, in a way, blessed, because that's how I treat my books. But they also may have some notes in there that you're like, what? Or that may annoy you, because I write in my books. I often put little tabs in them. You've noticed I've tried to take as many out, and there's also some CDs, which I found some I can't part with, so I'm glad I had an old boombox lying around. And so going through that was the beginning of sniffles. So on Monday, I started to have sniffles. I went, oh, it's all the dust in the books, in the boxes. Well, no, it was a full-blown cold. And one of the things that we do in our teaching is that when we have a physical symptom, especially a cold, we look back 48 to 72 hours. And we notice an emotional upset. And I was very aware that I had resisted doing this project for 9 years. I also had some shame around the people who helped me pack them up when I moved. What was I doing to them? Oh my gosh, I didn't pack all of them. My friends did that. I was like, oh, I'm so embarrassed they had to fill all these boxes up with some of this crap, because some of it was just crap. And Then it was finding some things I didn't realize I had, including photo albums, including a journal that was written by my mother, and she passed 15 years ago, I think. And they were journals when my parents visited me from the Netherlands. My family's in the Netherlands. The first one was 1982 in Florida. The second one was 1987 in Florida. The third one was 1990 in Albany, New York. And the fourth one was when she came by herself for the first time to Morristown in 1990. And it was so lovely to read these journals with her thoughts, a little bit her feelings, but just her experience and what a precious time we had. And then I found an album that my sister created for me. It was a Frankie album with pictures from my childhood, my birth certificate, which of course I have, and just go through the years, and also about 24 letters that I had written her as a child when she left home and went to live in the next town, the next city. And so all that allowed me to experience a detox, a letting go, a freeing. And so how could I not welcome and celebrate a physical experience of that is releasing stuff from my body that my body no longer needs? I think that's so interesting that we approach our teaching that way, that we say, oh, I'm having this experience. Since everything starts in consciousness and everything starts with belief and thought, why would I not want to sit in that and say, what is my body temple trying to tell me? And then to honor that, to use that, to let that be a guide. Most of the time when we get sick, the first thing that happens is fear. And the second thing is happening is, oh, I gotta find a solution, let me go get a doctor or find the right pill. And it's like we're stuffing this beautiful experience. Of course, we go to the doctor or to the hospital when we break an arm. I would be there very quickly, right? But we, at the same time, work with this idea of what's happening with my body that my mind is telling me that I hadn't heard before. But now that my body is showing me, how can I listen more deeply for the guidance and the information? Because the body is what we are using in this incarnation. And it has lots of information. It has lots of wisdom that we are called and asked to listen to. It's as simple as when I have an earache, what is it I'm not hearing or listening to? It's as simple as when I have an eye issue, what is it that I'm not seeing or don't want to see? One of the big ahas I had in reading my mother's little journal, which is so interesting because I didn't have it in the same way before. She buried 4 children. And she had a broken heart when she died because she had a massive heart attack. Right? It makes sense when we look back sometimes, right? What it is that we're learning, what being told. I and Michelle Wadley treated this morning that this would stay on bay. So know that for me. All right, so the highlights were definitely those wonderful experiences of just being and not having to do anything and not having to go anywhere. What that really is choosing to live a simple life. We think that it is certain diseases that kills people the most, but what kills people is stress, because it's stress that causes the physical symptoms. And it is stress that's about consciousness and the mind, right? But we live in a culture where we've been told to go, 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 do, be ambitious, get more money, get another car, get another house, get more this, get more that. All that getting is from a place of lack. And lack is the feeling of not being enough, not having enough, not doing enough. And it does so much damage. So when we take an hour or a day or a week or a month to just be and make life really simple, We are not only gifted with healing, we're gifted with the sacred. We're gifted with a new way of seeing the world. We're gifted with simplicity and the blessings that come from that. But see, it's the ego that loves to make it complicated. It's the ego that says, go, 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 do, get, because you're just not enough. And you are separate from what you really are, what you really long for, which is love and light and peace and power and beauty and harmony and joy. And so we make it complicated, right? I mean, if I look at the world politics, I'm going, what happened to common sense? What happened to the golden rule that is used by any and every religion? So right after my sabbatical started is when the war started between Hamas and Israel. Well, Hamas started it, of course. But then we see this unfolding, and it's breaking my heart. It's so hard for me to watch the images. So I don't watch the images a lot. But I also know that it's an effect. And in the realm of effect, if we are at war within, we are partly responsible of any war that's happening around us, no matter how far away it is. So I know that when I witness war, I get to say, what is still a war within me, and where do I need to make peace? We all get to ask that question. What kind of peace do I need to make with myself, with my inner child, with my parents, with my siblings, with the world, with my teachers, with my exes, with my environment? It's just information that we're given in life, because the truth is, you and I are already pure love. You and I are already pure light. You and I are already peace and wisdom and joy and beauty. That's who we are. That's our true nature. So what gets in the way is me and you in your own world, where you don't experience that you already are light and love and peace and power and beauty, whatever other word comes to mind. That's your nature. That's the truth of your very being. Anything that gets in the way is just there to be dissolved by you, by your glorious consciousness. And so that's the simple thing, right? So pick one thing that you long for the most. What is it that you long for the most? Shout it out. Give me a few. What do you long for the most? Peace. So be peace. And let go of whatever is in the way. Because the truth is, you are already peace. Peace is what you're given. It's your birthright. It's your gift of life. It comes with your incarnation. But you believe somewhere inside of you that you aren't. That you aren't peace and you don't have peace. That belief has to go if we want world peace. So you think a drop in the ocean isn't enough? Just take that into a meditation practice, right? And so spiritual life is just given to us so that we can dissolve all the things that are in the way of the very truth that we already are. Emmanuel Van Lee, who's the son of Llewellyn Van Lee, who's my meditation teacher, says, I don't know, I can't find it, I didn't write it down. Oh, here it is. Spiritual life is untangling a sense of separation. Isn't that powerful? Spiritual life is just the untangling of a sense of separation. We all have that. We all carry that. The sense of separation is the cause to all our problems, is the cause to all our physical challenges, is the cause to experiencing lack, is the cause of fear. It's the cause of issues in relationships. If we can make it that simple and say, oh, I'm having this really interesting experience. I don't quite like it, but I'm willing to see it as a picture of the sense of separation in my own consciousness from my own divinity, from the truth of my being. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah? So then what are you gonna do with that one? Well, that's easy.
Treat.
We treat. Affirmative prayer. If you don't know how, talk to a practitioner, talk to me, take a class. Susan is gonna teach a foundational class next year where you'll all learn how to do that at the drop of a hat. What else do we do?
Meditate.
Meditate. What do you do to get back to center? Pray.
Quiet.
Find quiet, peace and quiet.
Walk in nature.
Walk in nature, two of you.
Yeah, take a spiritual practice out of your hat.
Take a spiritual practice out of your hat. Read a book that inspires you. If you don't have any, there's a whole bunch of them up there, and they're free.
That was the connection.
And it's not just reading them, right? It's not just reading a book and no, when I read a book, I read a book. I sit with it, I take notes, I put them in my journal, I think about them, I go back, I tag it, I highlight it. You know, I'm a little bit of a hoarder when it comes to tags and markers and color pencils and things like that, but I love that. And so affirmation, treatment, meditation, study, really reading, doing shadow work, and here's a little plug. One of the most powerful methods that I have been using is the work of Michael Singer. It's called The Untethered Soul. And I'm starting today a book discussion. It's part workshop, part discussion. And it's going to be 5 Sundays. Today, next Sunday, and then we take a break because we have a community meeting. And then I continue into December. Flyers are over there. We start at 12:30. That is a powerful book because what it invites us to do is to notice what we notice and to decide what it is that you want to let go of. So you let it go and then you relax. Really simple. Not so easy to do, but it's a very powerful practice. And that's been my go-to for a couple of years now. And this is the second time we're doing this. Because you asked. So it's really about just being present, noticing how you feel in your body, asking yourself what you need. Remember the truth of your very being. Be present. Be present in the here and now. You know, we hear that all the time. Blah, 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 present in the here and now. But when we really have to do it, we notice that it's not easy. Because there's deeper levels and layers of being fully in the here and now that hit a wall of discomfort. But that's where the fruits are. That's where the treasures are. So what I'm really talking about is that it's all sacred. It's all sacred. And when I say, well, it's all sacred except over there or that person, that's my work. That's my healing work. And so I'm going to ask you to do a little homework. I know you probably haven't been asked for a month. I'm just joking. What is your least favorite chore? Shout it out. Your least favorite chore.
Washing the dishes.
Washing the dishes.
Paperwork.
Paperwork.
Laundry.
Huh?
Laundry.
Laundry.
Paying bills.
Paying bills.
Organizing.
Organizing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I want you to think of your least favorite chore, whether you shouted it out or not. And I invite you to turn it into a spiritual practice by making it a sacred act. Even if you sit in front of your bills and you're practically throwing up, you just kind of step back. I feel that. Sit back, just for one moment, take a breath and say thank you. Thank you. I thanked my electric bill until it literally ended up getting cut in half, which was so interesting. And so what I said, thank you, electricity, for giving yourself to me for free, and that I don't even have to pay until I gotten it for free a whole month. So a little practice, right? If it's laundry, just for one time you do laundry, Just be very present. Turn it into a spiritual practice. Be grateful for the fabrics and how it was made and who made it, and you were able to purchase it, and that you're able to wash it, that you have a washing machine. My mother was doing this kind of thing, it's like we don't have to do that anymore, right? So just really be present with the task and be thankful for it and turn it into something sacred. I did that when I had a cat with the litter. And it was really powerful. It worked. If you don't want to do this, I have another task. Much easier. It's a quote by Hafez, the 12th century Persian poet. For a day, just for one day, talk about that which disturbs no one. Talk about that which disturbs no one. And bring some peace into your beautiful eyes. So that's your choice. Either turn a chore into something sacred, or for a day, just for one day, talk about that which disturbs no one, and bring some peace into your beautiful eyes. And now we're going to have a little bit of music.
Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such
thank you for sharing all that wonderful information from your sabbatical, right? Speaking of sabbaticals, what I'm going to do with you today is we're going to take a sabbatical. We're going to take a sabbatical from the profane, from our error of thought, from maybe self-judgment. And we're going to do that through a meditation and a singing meditation. And here's an interesting thing. As Reverend Frankie shared about her cold, a few weeks ago when the season started changing, I started getting this every morning when I woke up. And every morning I would say, oh, I'm getting phlegm. I get phlegm. It must be the change of season. I get phlegm. And every morning I get phlegm. Well, that's funny, isn't it? And then yesterday I decided that I would stand up and we would together sing a singing meditation, but in order for you to learn it, I'm going to have to sing in front of you alone. And I was thinking, oh, I got the phlegm, I can't sing. And interesting, I was telling Reverend Frankie this morning, listen to my voice. Well, of course, why just talk myself right into that? Our thoughts are so powerful. So this is a little bit of an audience participation because part of the singing meditation is to repeat, God is the blank that I am. God is the blank that I am. And so if you're thinking about a sabbatical from your negative thoughts or your error of thoughts, what God quality or positive thought, a thought that God is expressing, God is omnipresent, would you like me to insert into the meditation? Now I shouted out peace, so we will be doing God is the peace that I am, but there must be another word or two that you would like to.
Joy.
Joy. Love
Simplicity.
that. Say that again.
Simplicity.
Simplicity. Simplicity. Joy. Anything else?
Love.
Love.
Harmony.
Harmony. Beautiful. So as we sing, when that word is going to be next, I'll just give you a little hint. I'll say the word and then you'll know to insert that into the song. And I invite you to keep your eyes closed for the practice. I'll lead you in with a little meditation and then we'll go right into the singing. And my singing will be crystal clear, right? We know
Yes.
that truth. We know that truth for me. So here is our sabbatical, our practice today. So I invite you to close your eyes. And just let's start by breathing in unity. You can breathe at your own pace, but it's still unity because we're breathing God's breath. God is omnipresent, so the air we breathe is God. And we're all enjoying that togetherness, that oneness, feeling that presence of God. And we know, as we sit here in union, that God's presence is leading us, guiding us, showing us the way. Just sit with that thought. And I'm going to start singing the words and the melody. And when you get it, you might know it already, I invite you to join me. We're going to start with love. God is the love that I am. 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 Peace. God is the peace that I am. God
is the peace that I am. God is the peace that I am. God is the peace that I am. God is the peace that I am.
Simplicity.
God is the simplicity that I am. God is the simplicity that I am. God is the simplicity that I am. God is the simplicity that I am.
Again.
God is the simplicity that I am. God is the simplicity that I am. God is the simplicity that I am. God is the simplicity that I am.
Joy.
God is the joy that I am. God is the joy that I am. God is the joy that I am. God is the joy that I am.
Again.
God is the joy that I am. God is the joy that I am. God is the joy that I am. God is the joy that I am.
Harmony.
God is the harmony that I am. 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 God is the harmony that I am.
Peace.
God is the peace that I am. God is the peace that I am. God is the peace that I am. God is the peace that I am.
Let's just stay right there, in that place of peace, in knowing that God is the peace that we are, in knowing that God is the joy we are, God is the simplicity we are, God is the love we are, God is the harmony we are, and sit in that moment of truth knowing, right here, right now, in the silence of the peace that we are. And knowing that when we want to take a sabbatical from our error of thinking, from our self-judgment, from our thoughts that do not serve us, we step into the sacred, we release the profane, and we pick a practice out of our hat. So let's take a few more loving breaths together. And then slowly, at your own pace, bring yourself back into this space. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Thank you for participating with me.
Well, that was lovely. I realized my sabbatical didn't end. So I'm still on sabbatical. Thank you for that gift. There's a few things that I'd love to remind everybody of, or just tell everybody about, which is the Untethered starts today, as I mentioned earlier. This is the little flyer that you can grab, it's over there. So we start at 12:30. Depending on the size of the group, we'll either be in here or in the multi-purpose room. This coming Friday, Rhonda Dene is doing a fundraising concert for us. We've had 2 people sign up, me and Kathy Ronka. So we need people to sign up. Oh, and Nancy. Sorry, Nancy. Yes, for 2 people, right? Bringing a date. So there's 4 of us. We really would like to fill the room. So if you're interested in coming, please sign up on the Breeze link that we either email out to you or that's on the flyer or that we can help you with today. Because we really would like to see at least a dozen people here. So if we don't have people signing up in the next few days, we'll change the date and send refunds. The week after, 2 weeks from today, we're doing a community meeting because we have been in this space for almost 2 years. And so we want to just sit with you and say, what would you love in regards to our community? What's next for us? Who are we now that we've gone through a big change, a big move, and COVID, right? So you're all invited. Everybody is invited, whether it's your first time here or not. We would love to have you come. Christine Goldthwaite is facilitating this. She's fabulous. And we're doing a potluck. So bring a favorite dish to share if you like, and we'll have a potluck, and then we'll start at 1 o'clock until 4. Flyers about that is there as well. The other day we sent out some questions for you to answer in case you can't make it. And if you want to come on Zoom, the Zoom link is being posted as well. But I'm going to send it out tomorrow as a survey link, which will be easier for people to answer the questions and to do it anonymously. So look for that in your email. If you're not on our list, let us know or just sign up over there. Hot off the press, every year I do a workshop around the holidays because the thing that I hear from people is that they struggle during the holidays, whether it's with food or family or loneliness or whatever it may be. And I just do this workshop to use spiritual principles to make it a really peaceful, happy, blessed time for yourself. And when I first started practicing these principles, I was in the United States alone, and my whole family was in the Netherlands. And I asked myself, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to do for Christmas? What do you want to do? And I had a long list, and most of it had nothing to do with Christmas celebrations. I just wanted to have like a little retreat. And so ever since then, I'm not a Christmas person, I'm not a Hanukkah person, I'm not a solstice I love. So I just have figured what I would love to do and do that. And so this workshop kind of teaches you how you can be in a different place with the holiday and free of the past burdens. New Science of Mind magazine is here. This is November and December, so it's a double issue. So come and get that for me. It's $10. And we have Venmo now. Those of you that have said, do you have Venmo? Now we can say, yes, we have Venmo. So there's a Venmo QR logo in the back if you want to use that for your giving or even to get onto our website. We welcome donations. We don't judge whether you give or not. We don't judge what you give, how much you give, when you give. We just invite you to give, whether it's service, volunteering, keeping us in your treatments work, and giving financially to support this community. So here's a little basket that's going to come around. There's some envelopes in it and pens. If you still need to write a check, not many of us do that anymore. But you can give by text to give. You can now do Venmo. You can go to our website. There's many different ways to give, and it's all on that list back there. So I'll pass this around. And let's repeat together. Divine love consecrates my gift.
Divine love consecrates my gift.
It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless.
It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless.
It returns to me multiplied abundantly.
It returns to me multiplied abundantly.
There you go. As I share my good,
As I share my good,
I accept my greater good.
I accept my greater good.
Okay. So it is. So please feel free to take any books back there. Those of you that didn't hear me, they came out of the basement where I went through 40 boxes of books to release. And see, this is 4 or 5 boxes to release and pass them on to the people I love the most, or some of the people I love the most. Of course, that includes my family, right? But you know who you are. You are all very precious, special to me, and I'm really grateful to be back and to be connected again in a more physical way than before. So now we have Susan closing us with a healing treatment, right? Thank you, Susan.
My pleasure. And just to remind you that we will do express treatments. I will sit and hold the truth for you. And we'll just have 2 little chairs here, and don't be shy. I'll be sitting with my back to you, and if you want to come up and sit in a chair, I welcome you. So let's find that space again together, closing our eyes. And as I speak these words, I know the truth. I know the truth that there is one life, and that is love. And I know that truth for me, and I know that truth for each one here. And I know that we are gathered here because we were guided, we were directed by love, by the presence within us, by that still small voice that we hear, that shows us the way, that is the light, and that lights our path. So we all leave here today refreshed, renewed, guided, and joined in that consciousness of unity and love for ourselves, for each other, and for the world. And our gift that we give to the world is holding that space, that truth that we know, that God is omnipresent, that God is omnipotent, and in that full power, everything is possible. It is the infinite potential. And we live in that potential, we realize that potential, and we go forth and multiply. And we move from good to greater good for ourselves and for all humankind. It is with gratitude that I speak these words, knowing these words are true. I release them, and we all say together, and so it is.